May 2nd, 2011. A ghost raid born from a decade of intelligence and a single high-stakes gamble. For 40 minutes, the most powerful nation on Earth held its breath. An unauthorized flight into a sovereign country, a helicopter crash on target, and a firefight in the dark. This was not a battle. It was a global surgical strike executed by the most elite operators on the planet. A testament to a military that can reach any target anywhere, at any time. This is the story of that force. A military so vast, so technologically advanced, and so globally deployed, it acts as the world's 911 service, a first responder to crises, a protector of global order, and an unrivaled instrument of power. This is the United States Armed Forces, a hyperpower forged in the fires of the 21st century. The 21st century began with an attack that changed everything. The response was immediate and overwhelming. In 2003, the world witnessed shock and awe, the full, terrifying power of the American conventional war machine, built to crush armies and topple states. It was a flawless display of industrial age warfare. But the enemy was not an army. It was an idea, an insurgency. Suddenly, the billion-dollar tanks and jets were vulnerable to $100 homemade bombs. The wars in Iraq and Afghanistan became a bloody, grinding education. In the streets of Fallujah and the mountains of the Korangal Valley, the military was forced to unlearn decades of doctrine. The mission was no longer about taking ground, it was about winning hearts and minds, a complex and often impossible task. This was the crucible that forged the modern force, a force that had to become more agile, more intelligent, and more resilient. Out of this crucible came a new way of war, less about massive armies and more about intelligence, surveillance, and precision strikes. The era of the drone began. A new generation of warriors could now project lethal force from thousands of miles away, hunting individuals, not armies. The Forever Wars were a painful 2-decade-long transformation, creating the most battle-hardened and technologically integrated military in American history. To project power across the globe requires dominance not just on land, but across 5 integrated domains. In the air, it's more than just dogfighting. It's information. The F-35 isn't just a fighter, it's a flying supercomputer, gathering and sharing data across the entire battlefield. At sea, the aircraft carrier battle group is the ultimate symbol of American power, a $10 billion piece of sovereign territory, protected by a shield of the most advanced warships ever built. On land, the M1 Abrams tank remains the king of ground combat, a 70-ton beast of lethal force. But warfare is no longer confined to the physical world. In space, the new frontier is controlled by the US Space Force. They manage the network of GPS satellites that are the true nervous system of the American military. Without them, smart bombs aren't smart, drones can't fly, and ships are lost at sea. And in cyberspace, US Cyber Command wages a silent, constant war defending national networks and disrupting enemy command and control. Victory in the 21st century means winning in all 5 domains simultaneously. At the very tip of this global spear is the US Special Operations Command, or SOCOM, a 70,000-strong force of the military's most elite problem solvers. They are the Green Berets, the warrior diplomats who build armies and fight shadow wars. They are the Rangers, the world's premier large-scale raid force. They are the Navy SEALs, masters of the sea, air, and land. And at the apex are the Special Mission Units, Delta Force, and DevGru, the nation's surgeons, tasked with the missions of the highest consequence. In an age of decentralized threats, these are the human weapons who have become the tool of first resort. But overwhelming force is only one part of the mission. The same global logistics that can wage war can also deliver hope. After the 2004 tsunami, it was the US military that led the largest humanitarian relief effort in history. During the Ebola crisis in West Africa, it was American soldiers who built the hospitals. Every day, the US Navy acts as the guardian of the global commons, protecting the sea lanes that carry 90% of the world's trade. This is the other side of American power. Not just the ability to fight, but the unmatched capacity to provide stability and render aid on a global scale. A force born from revolution, tested by world wars, and completely reshaped by the conflicts of the 21st century. The United States Armed Forces is more than a collection of weapons. It is a promise and a burden. A promise to its allies, a warning to its adversaries, and a shield for its people. But the era of counterterrorism is fading. A new storm is gathering, the return of great power competition. The Sentinel must now watch over a world that is more complex and more dangerous than ever before. The cost of that watch remains high, measured in trillions of dollars in years of service, and in the ultimate sacrifice, a debt honored in the silent fields where the Guardians rest.